All right, here we are. How's everyone doing today? This evening? Okay, let's see. I'm going to be painting on a smaller canvas. So I'm going to make some adjustments here. That should be a lot better. Can everybody see that okay?
I think you still need that light. Is there any way we could turn that light on?
Yeah, or open the windows, the blinds up too, and get some natural light in. Oh.
Sorry. Wait, that's got a shadow, huh? That one? There we go.
Is that good? Natural light.
Beautiful. It's perfect.
Stacy, hello. Heather, yo. We got 15 people on. We're going to wait just a few minutes. Hopefully you guys got everything in okay, your supplies, your paints. Can you guys hear me okay?
You sound like a Verizon commercial.
A Verizon commercial?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Sorry.
Well, we can't do that now, can we?
Sorry. I'm moving this one more time because I can't see.
That's okay.
Then
Heather says, yep. Ileana says, yes. Teresa Santos says, Zoe, woo! Jory, and I are here.
Yay. Hi, Zoe.
Apple Valley High School camp. That must be my awesome friend, Gretchen Peratt.
P-Rat in the house.
Yep. So, Teresa and Jory, I really am looking at you this time. How you guys doing? Okay, we got 28 people on now.
Sorry.
And I think if you're going to be painting that, it's going to shake the computer.
That's how we did it last time and it was fine.
You sure?
Mm-hmm. Let me just shake this down here.
So I'm just waiting a little bit longer. I hope you guys are all doing okay. This is still shaking the whole computer.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's me. I'm Nancy right now.
No, it's not. It's just that this is every time you bump it a little bit.
Well, I would put it right in my canvas.
No wine this time. Where's the wine at? Should have stocked up. Well, everybody was out scrounging for toilet paper. They had tons of wine and different things at the grocery store.
I'm a very good whiner if you need me to whine for you right now. Just saying. How's that?
I think that's going to be a lot better. Can you paint? Didn't you paint there last time?
Mm-mm. I painted here, but it's okay.
Is that cool?
As long as you're okay with someone else.
Hello, Kelly.
Kelly.
Kelly Nunez.
Nunez, yay.
Sorry, we got 30 on here. I'll wait a few more minutes. I hope you guys are having a good evening. Boy, it was really nice out today. It still is nice. It's like 80 degrees out. It's really super nice.
I'm looking out the window and there's families taking a stroll. Little kids riding on their bikes.
Yep.
It's awesome. Oh, yay, Carson. Maybe Sandra and Carson are going to be with us today.
Yeah.
Hey, Carson. Miss you, bud.
What's up, Carson? Carson said hello. Well, guys, I'm probably going to start in about 4 or 5 more minutes. But of course, if you are new, this is your first time painting with me, these are the brushes that I'm using. I'm just using a flat brush and a round brush. That's all we're going to need for this painting. So, and I'm going to bring it up a little closer so you can see. There's my flat brush, and this is a round brush. We're going to be using acrylic paints. So, and the thing with acrylic paints, remember, acrylics dry pretty quick, especially if it's warmer outside. So if you got a window open, or you're cooking, or you're in the house somewhere and your house is a certain temperature, you'll notice that your acrylic paints could dry on your brushes if you leave your brushes out. So rinse your brush often. If you're going to keep using the same color, then don't rinse it out. Just make sure you remember that you've got acrylic paint on there. Your brushes will last a long time if you take care of them and clean them often. Okay, so all I'm using to pellet my paint is going to be, I just throw it away. Okay, and the paints I'm going to be using ultramarine blue. I'm going to be using white, black, red and yellow, and green. So I wanted to tell you guys the picture that I posted, it's going to be a little bit different because that actual color that we're going to have in the background, it's more like a magenta. And I wasn't about to tell you guys to go out and buy magenta paint if you aren't going to use it a lot. I'd rather everybody right around now just buy the basic colors, your primary colors, and buy canvases that you could afford or get your hands on right now. You could paint on 8x10. I would like to see you guys probably painting on no bigger than 11x14. When I do my paint parties, I paint on 16x20 canvases. That takes a lot of paint though. They're cool to hang up in the house, but I would like to do these with you guys often, and I won't be able to do that if, I mean, we need to conserve right now is the thing. So I want to make sure that everybody could afford to do this. It's a little bit of a tough time right now. We're all trying to conserve and ration things out or whatnot. And I am the same way with my paints. So I did order my paints through Blix.com. I'm not trying to promote them, but right now they are the best with shipping. You can get stuff on Amazon, of course. But I've always just used Blix. They're called Utrecht, Blix, same thing. It's the same company, but I order my paints through them. They come in pretty quickly. And I mean, I've used them in art school. I've been going to Blix. Blix was right around the corner from Cal State Fullerton. That is, that's my home away from home. I am a Titan, and that was our place to go to. So, so is everybody ready? Everybody have their canvas. We're going to be painting in the portrait mode. This is landscape. We're not painting that way today. Today we're painting in portrait mode. We're going to be painting a really cool flower painting with an awesome, cool looking background that we're going to create movement in the background. That is an element of design. And then we're going to paint a really cool bee.
Yay!
Which is pretty awesome. So
that was my idea.
Yeah.
We love bees.
Yep.
4th graders at Crystal love some bees, let me tell you.
So anyways, are you guys ready? Is everybody ready to go? Also, I have this little glass of water right here, little plastic cup of water I'll be rinsing my brushes out in. And I won't drink the water this time. Some of you got grossed out, but it was all good. It's pretty safe. So anyways, let's get going. The first thing I'm going to do, I want to get dark in my background. And I'm going to be using blue with a little bit of red and maybe a little bit of black. I'm going to create a movement going on right here, but I want to paint from dark to light. I don't want to paint the light part of the red that's going to be in here first. So I'm going to go ahead and put some blue paint on my palette here. And I'm going to show you guys everything I'm doing here in a second. blue, red, and a little bit of black.
I haven't even painted yet, and I already have paint all over me. It's a shame.
I always have paint on me. Welcome to my world. So I'm going to wet my brush. I don't know if you guys can see that from here.
I'm not touching anything.
This is what my palette looks like so far. Okay, now obviously, if you mix purple, or if you mix blue and red, you get purple. Okay, but I'm going to add a little bit of black when I get towards the outside right here because I want it darker right up here, and I'm going to put some red up here. And I'm going to get there in just a few minutes, but I want to start painting from dark to light. So I'm going to palette my brush right now, and I'm going to pull out a good amount. Because remember, you're going to have to go through about 2 layers of paint on your canvas. Otherwise, you're going to have canvas showing through. You don't want to do that. We want to layer real nice. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and grab some red, just a little bit. I don't want to pull a ton of that red in there because I want to keep that red for other stuff. Okay.
Nice.
I got a dark purple. You know what I forgot to add in here? Some white. I want a little bit of white. There's my dark purple. If you want it more of a red tone, just add a little bit more red. Be very careful though. You don't want to add too much. And look at, if you can see that right there. I'm going to add a little bit of white. And there's the purple I'm getting right there. There's a little bit of a sheen. So I'm going to go ahead and just start painting. And I'm going to paint in a direction going this way here. And I want to push down right now on the brush really good because I want, see the brush, how I'm doing this? Watch what happens when I paint and push down on the brush. The belly of that brush opens up and all that paint comes out. And then I'm going to keep going around in a circle. And I'm going to make up some more. Now I think it is a little bit blue, so I'm going to add a little bit more red to this. You guys can see that color right there. It's kind of a magenta color, but I'm going to keep going in a circle here. Ooh, that looks cool. Look at that.
Like it. It was more of like a navy, but when you added more red.
Yeah. And I'm going to keep going. I'm going to put a little bit of that down here. Now, don't add a lot of water to this right now because we want to get that canvas covered. Now, look at this right here. That is a thirsty brush. At this point, if you're here, you need to reload your brush. Remember, this is the more layers of paint, the better. So I'm going to add some more. I like that. It's like a crimson. I know somebody who loves crimson.
Who loves crimson?
Mr. Bob Ross.
Oh.
You guys still with me? Okay, now I'm going to add.
Easy. Now, I have a question for you.
Yeah, I'm going to add a little bit more white just so you guys know.
Like some of the other people out there, I'm not painting on a canvas tonight because I know that not all of us had time to go out and get canvases. I'm painting on actually a wood panel.
Right.
And I was wondering, does it generally soak up a little more paint than usual?
Not necessarily. If you put gesso and it's primed, it should not. If you're painting on a wood panel or a canvas that is not primed, it's like painting a wall. If it doesn't have a good coat of primer on it, as it is, it'll just soak up all that paint.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to know.
So here I go again. I'm painting in this circle. I like this color a lot. That's
I'm not getting stripes like you. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I think I went a little crazy with my purple color.
No, I like to just keep going. But do this in stages, like do one layer here and then skip it, and just, if you try to brush this whole color. Now see, I like this color, but now I'm gonna go back to a darker. So I'm gonna grab some of that blue that I just paletted, but I want a little bit less purple and more of a blue. And I'm gonna add a little bit of black, just a little bit. Don't put too much of that in. Just be very careful with that. And I'm gonna go to this upper corner up here, and I'm gonna paint that darker. Ooh, that is cool looking. Right there, and I might add a little bit of that right here. And maybe a little bit of that right here. I'm gonna put this in random areas, that dark. You should have a lot of purplish, dark blues right now, because we're gonna hit that. The second stage is going to be with the reds. So don't worry about that. It's supposed to look like this right now. But now what I do want to do is get some more of this blue paint. And I want to go in here. Remember, we're creating movement. So we want to create this sort of turbine effect. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to put a little bit up here. Now, I know that up here where I'm painting right now, I want to add some red. So I'm going to very lightly just put some of this blue paint in here. I want this side to be darker over here. This is the part where you get to relax, and everyone's going to have a different version of this. Everybody's going to have a different version of this. So if it doesn't look exactly like mine, that's okay. That's totally fine. If I were to repaint this again, it would be totally different. Completely different. Do not paint straight. You'll take the illusion away. You'll want to paint in a circular direction, just like this. Still paletting my paint. Now don't paint black up in here. We want it just right here and a little bit. We want to create movement, but we also want to create a movement like it's moving off the canvas. The darker it gets up in the corners, the better.
Hey, Jack.
What's up, Jack? Now I'm mixing up a little bit lighter. Oop, that was too light. That's kind of cool. I like that. Let's run with it. Let's see what we got. I'm painting it in a circular motion, and I'm pushing my brush down. Now, my painting is getting a little bit sticky. So what's going on is the paint is actually drying, and the more you push on it while it's drying, you can feel it's like tacky. When it gets to that point, you want to lay off the painting a little bit. You want it to dry. If you don't give your painting time to dry, it's real sticky, and you actually start to pull it off the canvas. So I was getting sticky right there, so I'm going to leave that. I want my brush to glide over the canvas real nice. If it's pulling, I'm going to stop, because that means it's drying and I'm not letting it do its job.
Oh, mine's not doing that. Mine looks like a black hole.
And I'm going to go to a little bit lighter. I want to fill this in, but not too much, because I'm going to paint that red, that pinkish color in a little bit. So that's cool. Now I'm going to grab some blue and a little bit more black. You guys know, if you just want to darken blue, you just add red to it. It's just a complementary color. but I'm adding a little bit of black to it just to intensify that. Don't get all crazy with the black paint either. Black is not really good to use. You should always use a complementary color whenever you're painting to darken something. In the art world, we call black the pigment killer. It's cool to use every so often, but not a lot. So I got some stuff up here that's not finished, that right there. But I'm looking at my painting right now. I actually painted this pretty quick. And I don't want to paint over it much more. I want it to dry. Okay, so I'm going to rinse my brush out. Those of you who are painting for the first time with acrylics, you get your brush, you paint the bottom of your cup, and you wring all the water out just like this. Okay, try not to grab your fingers and squeeze the paint out. That doesn't work very good. And then when you dry, just paint like you're, or just dry it like you're painting the paper towel that you're using. You should have a nice flat. This is what it should look like. Ready to go. Reload. Okay. Also, what you want to do, if you're painting on a canvas just like this, these are actually ready to hang. You can totally hang these up. They're all ready to go. So I like to paint the sides too. So while you're waiting for this to dry, you could paint the sides right here, let those dry, and then turn it to the side so you can paint the bottom. Okay, but I don't know if you guys can see this okay. Let me move this up a little bit. But it's very streaky still. And that's okay because we are going to add a second layer to it. So you can do one of two things. You can sit and relax, chill out, let it dry up. Or you could hit it with a hairdryer to dry really fast. In my case, I don't want to do a speed painting with you guys. I want to hang out, answer questions, and help you guys out. So I'm going to actually just let this dry. And I'm probably going to paint the sides while I'm talking with you guys. Does anybody have any questions? Do you want any help right now? Shoot. Ask away. I'm going to paint the sides right now. By the way, I hope you guys are finding things to do and keeping yourselves busy. Really just kind of take some time and think about all the stuff you could probably work on or things you can do. Get some fresh air. Make sure you guys are all going outside every so often and going for walks. Don't watch too much Netflix, right? To get it lighter, just incorporate a little bit of white. So if you're using black and you add white to it, it's going to instantly turn any color you're using gray. So rinse your brush out really well.
Kaylee, mine is very dark too, just so you know.
Yes, right now, Kaylee, this is supposed to be really dark because what this is this is just the background. And what's going to really bring this painting to light is the flowers that we're going to put in the foreground and the bee. So if the problem is that this is too light and then we have the flowers, they're going to compete with each other. So we definitely want it darker. We're going to add some of that red in here in just a few minutes. But that's good separation if you have it that way. Yeah, just rinse out your brush. And remember, guys, if anything happens where you're not happy with the spot, you can either leave it and just wait for it to dry and then paint over it. Remember, it's just acrylic paint. If this is oil and we make a mistake, you have to scrape it off with a spackle knife. You have to get a rag with some turpentine or mineral spirits and wipe it off, and you got to let it sit a little bit. It's such a nightmare. Oils are cool. I don't use oils a whole lot anymore. It's just my very good friend and my painting mentor who taught me everything about painting when I was younger. My good friend Joe Yakovetic. He always tells me that he loves painting with oils because he's a lazy painter. And what he means by that is he likes that he can paint something, walk away for a little bit, have dinner, go back and the painting's still wet. Or the next day he could wake up and his painting's still wet. It takes 2 or 3 days to dry. With acrylic paint, you can see this right here. It's not shiny anymore. It's starting to actually dry up. Okay. I could paint the other side in just a minute, but this is dry here. Being very careful. I can see a sheen right there, which that means it's still a little wet. So I'm going to rinse my brush out right now, and I'm going to add a second layer, but I'm going to rinse it out so that you guys can catch up and you guys have time to get your backgrounds in. Remember, guys, I'm just a reference. It's cool if you could paint exactly what I'm painting, but I want to see everyone's different variations. That's what's fun about painting at these paint parties that I do. I love walking the room, and nobody else can see it because they're all painting. And they're getting frustrated, and they're saying, oh, mine doesn't look like yours. And I'm walking around like, oh, wow, you've got a different version of this. And, oh, wow, this person painted something completely different. That's awesome. So I love all the different variations of this. Okay, Mary just messaged me, and she said she cannot reply. That's fine. If you have any questions, Mary, just shoot me a message. I'll do my best to bounce back and forth. So is everybody else holding up out there? Good? Everyone's doing good? Not just with your painting. I mean, like in general. It's pretty cool. Everybody's finding things to do. Guys staying inside, hanging out, kind of regrouping. That's kind of what we've been doing, just regrouping. Still trying to wrap our head around everything, of course, but you know, this will pass. Yes, Michelle, I have used so many different acrylics and so many different brushes. So in the art world, you kind of get what you pay for. And with acrylic paints, sometimes they add a little bit more polymer and they have a more higher quality acrylic paint. And sometimes they're super watery because they're budget paints. And as of right now, I have a different outlook on all types of art. And it's not because that's all people can get and they don't know any better. It's that it's whatever's available. We just have to make it work right now. So, and I want everyone to be able to paint things. I always take a regular number 2 pencil when I do art lessons with the students and my kids, because I don't want them to ever think, well, Mr. Hernandez is only drawing that because he's got a real nice mechanical pencil with a real nice lead and he's using nice paper. I never want to do that. I always want everyone to say, hey, he used these materials. He can do it. I can do it too. I always want you guys to just build that confidence no matter what. So
You might have saved this, Mr. Chris.
yeah. Yeah, craft paint, if you guys could get your hands on decent acrylic paint, Master's Touch, Liquitex, Golden's really expensive. They're really, really good paints, but my gosh, they are so expensive. I mean, I trade, you know, a few rows of toilet paper for a tube of golden paint right now, right?
You're funny.
Well, hey, guess what? My paints are drying. I'm going to do another layer. If you guys can remember the same color schemes you did, I'm going to go back. Now, we're not going to have to use that much paint because that's a really good layer we've got on there. So I'm going to mix up this crimson color again.
Michelle said she used craft paint last week and she said it was a pain.
Artist Loft is good too. Yeah, Artist Loft is totally fine. I'm good with them. Okay, here we go again. Now I get to go through. Keep going in this pattern. Try not to break up this pattern. This is where you want to put a little bit of water on your brush because, again, your brush should glide on your canvas. Ooh, look at that. That was what Mr. Bob Ross calls a happy accident. Love it. We're going to have a lot of happy accidents when we do these paint lessons, virtual paint hangouts. I'm going to have a lot of happy accidents too, and I'm not going to tell you. I'm just going to be like, yep, I meant to do that. Now, I'm pushing down on my brush. I want the belly of that brush opened up, and I want all that paint to come out. That's cool. I like that. Now I got to do that to the rest of that.
I'm finding that my paint is drying very quick. You said that's normal?
It's normal on the second layer. And remember, what's the temperature inside your house?
Yeah, it's pretty
right?
hot.
Do you have a window open? Is it dry outside? Sometimes in my studio when I'm painting, I'll actually have a humidifier in there. They make a retarder for paint, but it's really messy, and I personally don't like it. I want to see all these layers still. Don't overblend it. Leave a lot of those. Here, let me put it closer so you guys can see this. See all those different layers, different colors.
Trying.
But you can still see the canvas through, and that's cool. No big deal. We're going to keep layering it and layering it. I'm going to add more blue. I'm using ultramarine blue. Now, the painting I showed you guys that was on my Facebook or whatever it was, Instagram, it was more of a magenta red. So we may not get that effect, but like I said, I wasn't about to tell you guys to go buy magenta just for this painting. I want you guys to be able to use all these. I'm going to pick paintings for you guys to do that are using all the primary colors. No more phthalo greens and aqua greens. I just want you guys to use paints that are available to you. I don't want to do that to you guys. Yes. Hey, Christy, how are you? Christy, yeah, humidifiers are great for the sinuses. Of course, it's mostly used in my studio.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I haven't rinsed my brush out yet. Now, also keep track of what you're putting in your brush. If you, I call it impulse painting. If you just start going all over the canvas and you forget, ooh, that looks nice, and you forget that there's black on there, the instant you put a little bit of white, boom, you're going to see it. It's going to be gray, like someone else had said earlier. That's cool. I like that. Now we're filling it in. Let me see if I can move this a little bit. There's a little bit of a glare. Let me try closing the window up.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want you guys to see the glare. Okay, is that better? Nope. Is that better? Boom, there's the culprit.
It was nice while it lasted.
Also, I'm painting on my table. I'm not painting in my studio. I have bad internet in there. And is it fair that I get to paint in the studio and you guys are painting on a dining room table as well? No. So I want to paint on a table with you guys. I want to feel like I'm with the peoples. Because you guys are my peoples. Okay, so I'm going to keep throwing this out there. But I'm going to paint again next Friday. We're painting tonight because I'm hanging out with my D&D group on Friday. And I will not be able to paint with you guys. I apologize. Okay, I'm going to go back up here. I want all dark first. So Kaylee, you should see a lot of dark right now because this is going to be our first layer. Ooh, look at that. I'm creating stuff by accident, but I'm going to pretend like I just pulled it off and meant to do that. Yeah, I meant to do that. No. Everybody doing okay? No, I want to add some more red. I'm going to put a little bit of white. I'm going to incorporate a little bit of white. Here's where I'm at right now. I got this crimson color, but I'm going to make like a lighter purple. So I'm adding more blue. And don't put it on your canvas. If you're unsure, paint it on your palette first. It's such a nuisance if you paint it on your palette or paint it before you paint on your palette. If you just jump and start painting on your canvas and it's not what you want, then it's very frustrating. Jory broke out the wine. Okay, so just red. Well, do a 50-50 mixture. This is the purple I have. There's going to be different shades of purple depending on the blue and the red you use. So, and then incorporate a little bit of white and then just keep tacking it on your palette right there. Is that the purple you want? Nope. Okay, add a little bit more white. Is that the purple you want? No, it's a little too light now. Okay, so always palette it first before you just start painting right on your canvas. Save you a lot of heartache. But watch this. I'm going to hit this little area. Now watch what I start doing now. I'm just going to get this lighter shade of purple and I'm going to go in a circle and I'm going to lift up my brush. I just want it in certain areas. I don't want it all over. So I want it right there. Maybe I want it right here. And maybe a little bit down here. That's kind of cool. I like that. Let me try something here. It's a little dark, but I don't like the glare. Tell me if this is better.
Maybe from the other, it's not on. I was like, I don't see it.
Is that better?
It might be better coming from this direction.
Well, I can't. I'm painting in that direction.
I forgot. Yes.
How's that? Is that better? That or that? Probably that.
How are the kiddos doing with this painting so far?
Yeah, how's everybody doing? This is the part where I get to say, hey, what's up? How's everybody doing? Everybody good?
Mine, with the light. Mine is not very purple-like. What I found is add more red, and then to get that purple color, I added a little bit of white to mine, and I feel like that really made the purple pop. Because I'm not a magical paint mixer like Mr. Chris is, but
I'm not a magical paint mixer.
that is so not true. He is.
They hate me when I go to Lowe's and Home Depot.
He's like, all you have to do is add
I'm like, it's really easy. I don't know what's so hard about that. Why do you need a stupid machine to mix that color? I can make it. They don't like that.
No, they don't.
I tell them what's up, though. It's all good. I don't need color swatches. I just go right in and kind of boss them around a little bit. I'm gonna go on this side now, start adding some more colors, some more blue. I want to start going after these pieces of canvas that are showing through. Now watch this. I want to blend this. There's a hard line right here and a hard line right there. So I'm going to grab some blue and I'm going to go right between those guys right here, just like that. I'm going to add a little bit of water. And when you acrylic paint, think of acrylic painting as you're adding thin layers of cellophane or like plastic layering on top of each other. Okay, now I'm going to do some darker up here. Now watch what I do. I'm going to add a little bit of black. But remember, once you add black into your paint, you're going to definitely want to switch it out and clean your brush out right away. Because if you add any bit of white into that, it's going to ruin your life. You're going to be really frustrated. So I'm going to add some black down there. Maybe a little black right here. And you could use your brush in a different direction. You don't have to use it this way. You can come right through here and you can turn your brush this way and add a streak of black going that way. And I'm going to add some black down here. Not a lot of black. Remember, your paint should be gliding on your brush on the canvas. If you feel it sticky and you have to pull it, either add water or leave it alone and let it dry. What happens is you can see these little marks right here. They're from painting and then stopping. You don't want to see those. You want them to be followed through, just like that. Chris Blaylock, fine art. What's up, buddy? How you doing? So is this cool? You guys, are you guys enjoying this? I am. This is fun. I was looking forward to it. I actually couldn't sleep last night. I was so excited to paint with you guys.
The light does help because we can at least see the lighter, it looks like before the very dark. Okay.
Now I left this up here. I think I'm okay with that. I'm gonna add a little bit more. And remember, if you have to go and fix a spot, don't just fix the spot. Try to match the color up. Like I missed a spot right here. And follow through all the way. Because if you just fix a little spot right there, you're going to see the brush marks. You want all your brush marks to be consistent. I think that's cool. I like that. I probably need some more up here, but guess what? This I'm going to leave because I'm probably going to go over that with more of the red. So I'm going to rinse my brush out right now.
This is what I have, Mr. Chris.
I like it. We're going to go over with some red.
Oh.
Yeah. Painting on boards is a little bit tough.
Well, the colors,
they're cool. I like boards, but
I can tell you right now, the color isn't quite as vibrant as what I'm looking at your canvas, and I can make it as bright as I want, but it doesn't matter.
By the way, you guys, I was helping my friend Christy, and she asked a really cool question. If you can't get canvases, I'm going to tell you guys this right now. You may use cardboard. Make sure it's the cardboard that isn't rigid like this. I painted this just for the heck of it. This is what we're going to be painting ultimately on a piece of cardboard. Now, if you can find cardboard, and everybody should have some cardboard because everyone's ordering stuff online right now. If you can get to the Dollar Tree, there's canvases there for $1. If you can order them on Blix, go for it.
You can actually order Dollar Tree stuff online. I figured that out.
Yeah, so also if you guys have sketchbooks or pads of paper, the back of that sketchbook, that hard cardboard, press board or chipboard is what we call it. You can actually primer that too with gesso. Awesome, Chris. That's nice. Having some coffee, relaxing. Thanks for watching too. If you guys cannot get gesso is what canvases are. It's like a primer. The easiest way and the cheapest way. Now, this is not going to be like archival. You're not going to be able to put it at the what's it called? LACMA. It's not going to be able to go to a major art museum to last for thousands of years. But if you want to make gesso, you can use latex paint. But you have to be very careful because latex paint has acrylic in it, but it has other chemicals in it too. That you guys ever notice that when you paint latex paint on your walls, if the kids put their hands on it or whatever, you guys could always wipe it down and it could come right off. Well, guess what? If you just use straight up latex paint, your paint could actually chip off of that after a while. So what I like to do, and it's really simple, you guys should all have this laying around, if not super cheap, is you can add 2 different ingredients into paint, latex paint. First off, if you're going to use latex paint, don't use a gloss. Try to use a satin or a matte paint. You don't want any of that sheen on it. Also, add baby powder into your paint. So if you've got a container of paint about this size, you can throw some latex paint, about that much latex paint in a small container, probably about a cup and a half, 2 cups worth. Throw about 2 to 3 tablespoons of baby powder into that. If you guys can do that, that'll take the sheen out of the paint, but it'll also make it tacky so the paint can grab onto it. The other thing you can add into it if you want is you could add a little bit of Elmer's glue into the paint for a gesso, a very inexpensive homemade gesso. Please don't go out and buy all these things if you don't have them laying around the house already. I don't want to encourage any of you to go out right now, especially with what's going on. I want everyone to stay safe. But if you do have baby powder and you have latex paint around your house, mix those together. Pre-paint them on cardboard or boards or panels.
Can you use any color of latex paint?
You can use any color. Like one day I went into class and my teacher only had brown. So we painted and primed our canvases with brown paint that was gessoed. And I painted a really cool drape study on it. And guess what? It's sitting in my studio and it looks rad. I love it. I have it displayed in there because I think it's cool. I don't display too many of my paintings. I don't know. There's something about that. But I like that painting a lot.
Which one?
The drapery study.
Oh, he has a picture of me that he painted.
I do.
But it was
I
oil.
love it.
It was oil.
It was oil paints.
The truth of the story is it's a really cool painting that he did. And it was supposed to be a study on light source. And so it's me holding my iPad. And the light source was my iPad on my face. Which was really, I thought it was funny.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start my next layer of paint. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm making, see how I have the red right there? I don't want to use that because I want a little bit of blue to make like a pinkish magenta because that's what we're going to make next. But there's a lot of blue right there and I don't want to accidentally dip my brush into it and I start painting this and it turns to magenta. So I'm going to make a whole nother area right here. And now with the white, be very careful when you're using this white. Okay, and then here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab a good chunk of this white and I'm going to put it right here. And I'm going to start making this really cool magenta color. It's pink right now. Okay, but I want a little bit of blue. Watch this. I'm just going to grab a little bit of blue. That's it. I don't want to do too much. Okay, now this little area right here, I'm going to start in the center. Is everybody ready? I'm going to start right in the center here, and I'm just going to go around in a circle. And I'm going to keep going until I run out of paint. And I'm going to be a little bit streaky on the outside right here because I wanted to have that effect. I might even turn my brush in a different direction. Like so. And I'm going to dry brush whatever's on it. Now, dry brushing Did you notice I have not taken my brush and put any water on it or added more paint? I'm dry brushing now. This is all I've got left on it. Not a lot, but I'm going to very gently brush over certain areas. Ooh, that's cool looking. This is called dry brushing. Don't beat up the brush and don't beat up your painting. And I'm just going to add this in certain areas. I like that. That's really cool. Okay, now I'm going to add a little bit more red. So you see that tone right there? Look how I'm changing tones. See those two? Now I'm going to grab a little bit of brush and very gently I'm going to go back over. And I'm going to keep going in this little area. And twirl the brush. See how I'm twirling the brush? Don't try to paint this in. Twirl your brush. Right in the center right here, you could do this. Don't do too much. I don't want to pull up with the paint. I'm going to grab some red, and I might put some red right here. Or that's still that pinkish color. That's cool. I like that. I might throw a little bit of that right there. Now look at, I've got movement. Remember we talked about movement in my painting. Now I'm cool with that. The next thing I want to do is I want to rinse my brush out because there's white in there. You guys still with me? Don't make me drink this paint water again like I did last time. I did not get sick, by the way.
Non-toxic.
I drink paint water in front of my students. It makes me cooler, I guess. You know, when you're a teacher, sometimes your kids think you're old and washed up.
It does make
I was like
you,
flexing by drinking my paint water.
makes you one thing and one thing only. A little more colorful on the inside.
Yes.
That's it.
I'm going to paint this area up here. Watch this. I'm going to grab some red. I just rinsed my brush out. Grabbing pure red. Okay. Very carefully, I'm going to go up here. And I'm going to paint. I'm still going in this curved direction. I'm following this curve. Follow those curves right there. I like it. It's coming out good. I painted this earlier and it's completely different and I like it. I kind of like this one better than the other one I painted anyways. That's the cool thing about painting something like this. I'm actually happier with this one. Now I'm going to dry brush over this area right here. Ooh, that's cool. Look at that. Yes, I like that better. That wasn't in my last painting, but it's in my new painting and I like it much better. And I'm going to throw a little bit. Ooh, I didn't mean to do that, but I kind of did now. I like it. Chris said that he took a sip of paint water for the first time last year. It's not as yummy as you would think. It's not. You would think with all that, you'd think it would taste like Kool-Aid or something. But you just look at it and think, oh, cool, it's going to taste like Powerade. No, it tastes like chalky, dirty water coming out of a rusty pipe from an old building. Rinsing my brush out. If you're drinking paint water, you're on my team. You're totally on my team.
So here's to all the people who are not on his team. Hip hip hooray.
You ready?
I've witnessed many people do it though. At paint parties, oh man, it's the funniest thing. I think the funniest one was not Kim Thompson, maybe it was her husband.
That's not bad. I bet if you filter this out a couple times.
Are we going red on every corner?
Oh, God, that's horrible. Ugh, doesn't that taste good? No. It tasted better last time for some reason. Maybe it was the different paints I used. Please do not do that at home. Please sign a waiver.
Yeah.
She'll lick her canvas. Teresa Santos said, "No, don't drink the water. Someone's poisoned the water hole." I just noticed I have some not imperfections, but I have some canvas showing right there. So I might want to go over that here. Now that your paint's drying, you can totally see any holes or little pits in there. So right here, I want to fix that. I'm going to add a little bit of white.
Were we only supposed to do red on one corner?
I did. You can do whatever you want. It's your painting. You know what I'm saying?
Because I'm feeling this whole red thing. It's awesome.
Well, just run with it.
I'm going to.
There's some holes in my canvas I just fixed right there. There's some right up here. I'll get to that in a second. Remember, this is all black up here. You don't want to touch that. You want to keep your colors right here. Okay. And then remember, too, if there's any spots, this does not have to be perfect. There's going to be a bee right here. There's going to be some flowers down here. Okay. But I do want to darken that corner a little bit.
What corner?
Chris, if you want to see more of my personal work, go to hernandezdesigns.com. You'll get to see all my brewery work. I've done some work for Hangar 24, Wicks Brewing, Apple Valley High School, Oak Hills High School. I've done their logos for them. Monkey Sports. You'll see. Just to go there and check out my work. So hernandezdesigns.com. And Miss Amy here painting with me, my amazing wife, Miss Amy Hernandez, and myself have self-published 2 children's books. And we are going to finish our 3rd children's book because we're quarantined. So we're stuck in my studio and I get to actually work on it and finish it. We're about halfway through with it. So we get to exhibit our books at Comic-Con, WonderCon, Los Angeles Times Book Festival, and of course, everyone in the high desert. We've got a nice group of friends and family that follow us, and we try to put as many of those books in the school libraries, and we like to do stuff with our community with our books. So yeah, so that's kind of thanks, Chris. Yeah, it looks good. I like that. It looks like an oil painting. You want to show everybody your piece? Look at Amy's piece.
I don't know.
Show me your piece and talk about it.
So anyways, like I said before, I found this wood panel. It was actually at Walmart. They're pretty picked over with canvases, but then I noticed they had, it looks like a regular canvas, but it's a piece of wood. It's a 12 by 12. So it's square. And I thought, oh, that would be cute because it's a bee painting. And as many of you know, Miss Nunez and Miss Clevenger and Miss Boatwright and myself, we are doing a special project on bees for our class. And so that's why I picked the bee piece. I'm all into creating sanctuaries and saving the bees. Anyhow, so I told you guys I was having trouble getting the same color. So I went way lighter and noticed I got it lighter. It was like black. It looked so dark before. So I was able to layer and layer, and I added a lot more white than what Chris was suggesting. And so here I have it. This is my piece. And it's very round and circular. A little bit of my... They're all staying quiet because I told them not to lie.
Your piece is it's got an oil painting feel to it. I like the smoothness of it, and the colors are all like spot on with what
I try.
you're doing. So
I try. I think I have a little more paint on my hands than...
That's all right. Welcome to my world. Little bit of lag.
Oh, that's what's going on.
Oh, is it okay? Are we good now?
Yeah, I was like, no one's messaging me. I think they don't. I think this is their way of staying quiet and not trying to hurt my feelings.
Oh, no. Is it coming in better now, you guys? Hey, Chris, also email me. I want to see your work too. chris.hernandez367@gmail.com. You guys can email me too anytime you want. So if you guys have any questions on art or you just want a good barbecue recipe, because I am a self-proclaimed barbecue champion too, by the way, in my house. So if you guys want to swap recipes or you want to battle me, go for it. So
oh, concentrating. Okay.
Good, no lag here. Okay, so we're good now. We're all good?
Yes.
Excellent.
Beautiful.
Okay, I'm gonna start to look. Oh, good. That looks good, Michelle. I'm looking at Michelle's piece right now.
Looks really good.
Isn't that good? You guys will learn. You guys are all going to paint along with me. Like I said, I want to do this with you guys as much as I can. I think it's a lot of fun. It gives us something to do. We all got time right now. And of course, we all just need to find ways to just really stay in and just stay positive right now. So stay hopeful and stay positive, and
I just like the human interaction, right, Mr. Chris?
iMessage games. What's that, Kaylee? iMessage games. Mr. Hernandez, that is me. Mr. Hernandez, yep. I really miss my kids. I'm actually really upset. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't want to be negative, but I really miss my students. I miss my kids.
Kaylee, okay, so I'm just gonna take a moment and let you know, Mr. Chris and I are Google phone people. So no, Mr. Chris does not have iMessage games. So yeah.
I might switch back to an iPhone. I don't know.
I'm really, really liking my Samsung.
Not me.
Really liking.
It's all right. So it's all right. Kaylee's messaging me on. Let's see what we got. That's good, Kaylee. It's all going to come together. I promise. Like this is just the supporting cast. These are people in the background. This is not the star of the show. Okay, so I'm cool with my painting. You know what? I found a little spot right there. I'm going to fix it real quick, and then we're going to move forward. Because we're an hour in, and I don't want to keep you guys all night.
I always look for the best view and I kind of look at my painting and I say, okay, flowers are going to go here, the bee's going to go here.
Yes, so that's a great idea.
So if you made mistakes or you don't like the shape of one side, turn it to the side that's going to be covered. And that way you don't have to fix it.
There's that.
Which we learned that with the tree last week. We were able to put the tree, on the side. If you made a mistake, you covered it. It didn't matter.
Yeah, you're going to notice a lot of imperfections on this. My Chris and his girlfriend. Oh, cool.
Yay. Oh.
Kaylee, don't make fun of me because I don't have an iPhone. I use all Apple devices except for a phone. I'm a graphic designer, so it's our fancy chainsaw to do design work, but I do not have an iPhone. I'm really sorry. I
had Chris Thompson in my class like over 10 years ago, something like that, 10 years ago. Maybe I'm exaggerating. I don't know. In middle school, 7th grade. So to see him all grown up is amazing.
I had Kaylee Morales last year.
I'm not laughing at you, Kaylee. It was just funny.
Kaylee, I had to write a referral last year. I'm not going to lie. She likes to argue. She's very defiant in class. Just kidding, Kaylee. I love Kaylee. Kaylee's awesome. I wish I had a bunch of Kaylees every year, and I don't. She's like Tigger. She's like the only one. Okay, are you guys ready to move forward? Here's my palette. I got space down here still. If you ran out of room, you're probably not going to need a lot of this anymore, but hang on to it just in case. Okay?
Wait, really quick. I just want everyone to see, because you're showing everyone else. Can you see it?
Whose is that?
That's Kelly Nunez.
Oh, cool.
And it would make sense. I know her and her love for pink and purple. She has a really nice color going on.
That's cool. That's awesome, Kelly. I apologize. I will post your guys' paintings tomorrow. I'm going to make a page on my Facebook page. And if you guys see my posts, you can either add me on Facebook. I don't post a lot of stuff, but I do post. I post funny pictures of myself, like Tiger King or whatever. Exotic Chris Exotic is what I call it. But anyways, I will make an album tomorrow, and I will totally put that in there for you guys. So let's go ahead and start with the next color. Are you ready? The next step is we're going to make these really cool stems, and we're going to add really cool flowers to them. Are you guys ready? I'm going to get these two colors right here, green and yellow. I don't want it too green because now I want to start to lighten up. This is my background. I want my midground and my foreground. But in this case, we're just doing a background and a foreground. So I'm going to go ahead and put some green on my palette here. And I'm going to rinse out my flat brush because I'm now going to switch to my round brush. Everybody see that?
I don't know about everyone else, Chris, but I'm about a minute behind in lagging.
Oh, you know what? I'll wait.
I don't know if it's the computer, but
You know, Kaylee, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not promoting anybody's Netflix shows. I am not going to advertise anyone unless they're helping me, but I will tell you this. Tiger King. Boy, if you thought you had problems in life, watch that and you will feel like you are the greatest person in the world. Like you thought you had problems. You watch these people. And it's funny because we kind of laugh at it. We laugh at it. That's kind of how things are in life though. Like that's comedy. We watch sitcoms and we watch these people put themselves in horrible, funny situations. And we just sit back and say, thank God that's not me. Oh my goodness. These people are crazy. But I get a kick out of it. I'm not all about these shows, but it's pretty ridiculous. Actually, it's ridiculous. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, so this is what I got. I got some green and some yellow. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wet my brush. You don't need to clean your cup out. It's really not a big deal. I'm going to mix green and yellow together. And I'm even going to add a little bit of this. See this white right here? I'm going to grab a little bit of that. A little bit more. It's up to you. It's all preference. Look at this. See that shade of green right there? Look at that green and look at that green. That's where I'm at right now. And we're going to switch it up too. So when I paint with a round brush, I'm going to roll it upward and pull it up because I want a nice fine point. I want to be able to make lines. If you could paint lines with your brush, you're in good shape. The key to painting with a round brush is very little pressure, and then you put more pressure down to get thicker lines, just like that. Practice that. See that? That's how we're going to make the flowers too eventually. Very little pressure, and then push down. Do it slowly. Don't do it fast like I do. Okay? I'm going to make stems. I'm going to try to keep Chris said, hi, Kat. Oh, cool. Your student is watching. That's awesome, Chris. Chris, where are you at right now? What city? Or what state? The kindergarten teacher is watching this. How crazy. Who's your kindergarten teacher? Is that Miss Thompson? Ari? Okay, so here we go. I'm going to start right up here, and I'm gonna just put one right down. This is your bravery test. Yeah, Mrs. Thompson was your kindergarten teacher. That's rad. Okay, I'm gonna start up here, and I'm gonna work my way down right here with this brush. Okay, I got plenty of paint on this. I don't want to goop it on there, but I'm gonna start up here, and I'm gonna work my way down just like this. There's my first mark. Now, if you can, try to go thin and then thicken up towards the bottom. Remember how we did the tree branches last week? You start thin and you get thicker towards the base of the trunk. Okay, and then I'm going to do this. I'm going to put a mark right here. Don't put them next to each other. Put one right there and maybe throw one like right here. Just like that. Switch it up. Now I'm going to get more paint. And I'm going to do another one, but it's going to go right there, just like that. Please do not make them perfectly straight. They'll make them look like they're tubes, like perfect cylinders. We don't want that. Okay. And I might put another one like right here. It's almost like a fluorescent green. Go eat, Ari.
Did she just stop in to stop in?
Possibly.
That's awesome.
Oh, he's in Atlanta.
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome. Michelle's in Atlanta right now as well. Okay, so I want to keep moving across. I'm going to put another one probably right here. Now, if you notice, I started thin and I put little pressure on the brush and moved down and just thickened up. And I'm going to add more paint. But before I do so, I'm going to add like a little whoop-de-doo right there. And I'm going to add more paint. Oh, cool. Yeah, he's Michelle's friend. And I'm going to put one right down here. I hope you guys are having fun right now. You know, I really want you guys to be able to do a few of these with me and just take off on your own. I like giving art lessons, but I tell my students, I want you guys, hey, Roberto, what's up, man? God, I miss my students so much. I want you guys to do these lessons and then sort of take off on your own. I'm giving you the basics, very simple techniques to do. And then you guys just kind of take off and do your own thing. And you'll get it. I mean, it's still fun to paint along. But I just want to give you guys a new tool to put in your toolbox to find things to do right now. We'll put one of these right here. Probably another one right down there. This is really, isn't this cool, Kaylee?
I like
This is a fun part. It's going to get better. Remember, I told you guys, don't worry about this background. Just paint the background. He's not even the star of the show. He's like the supporting cast. He's the guy in the background just hanging out. He's the extra in the movie. Right? But it's still cool. It's necessary because it creates a lot of movement. Roberto, are you painting? If you're not painting, you better make a really good burger again. We were exchanging barbecue recipes the other day, which is awesome. I love when my kids reach out to me. It means so much to me right now. It means the world. It means the absolute world to me right now. I'm going to start to go on this side now and put another one right over here. Yeah, I really miss my students. I know all the teachers out here, we're all feeling it. My students are reaching out and they're upset. And I hope they know that we're just as upset as they are. And we're brokenhearted and hurt over this as well. I totally get it. But we're going to just try to stay positive and we're going to make the best of this. We're all in this together. Remember, we always talk about that. So we're all in this together. Awesome. So Roberto is one of my students. I'm really happy that I get to have him, and he's had a couple of art lessons with me. I've had him a few years now, right? A couple of years now. And yes, next Friday, I'm going to be doing this again. So next Friday, I'll pick a painting to be determined, but you could always go back and watch this video at any time. It's going to be on my YouTube channel. That's cool. I like that. Going right across. Remember to start them thin and work your way down thicker. Is that better?
Mine are more like thick to thicker.
Those are still cool.
You're just saying that.
I am just saying that.
Oh man.
Honey, it's wonderful. It looks so good. Happy wife.
April Fools.
Oh, today is. Oh, yeah. No, I'm not going to go there today.
Still waiting.
I'm rinsing my brush out.
Still waiting for the district phone call from Dave saying April Fools.
I think we're all waiting for the April Fool's thing. It's. Ugh. I'm sorry, you guys. I know some of you are saying, don't apologize, it's not your fault. It's not, but it really. Michelle says, mine looks like crap. I'm done. No, don't leave. You can fix it. Don't leave.
Come on, Michelle.
Don't give up. Don't quit on me.
I guarantee if you saw my chubby flowers right now, you would be like, okay, I'm in it with Amy. She can do this and have everyone look at hers and hear her awful voice, then so can I.
Oh.
Seriously.
All right. Well, these should be dry now. I'm not going to touch them, but I'm assuming they're dry. Now, for the next part, you're not going to want to use any white that's in this area right now. I might mix a little bit of white down here. I don't want the white to touch anything. I don't want to say white and say, well, I'm going to use this white, even though there's a little bit of green. I'm just going to be really careful because it always happens 10 out of 10 times. Oh, Michelle said April Fool.
Good thing.
Tell her, Chris, April Fools.
I think you just threw that in there. I think you
You
were really
did.
quick.
You were going to quit. Would you dare quit?
Anyhow.
Nobody quits. Okay, so I'm going to get some more white, and I'm going to find a spot on my plate right here. I'm going to be very careful. I'm going to make my flowers next. I have a really cool way to make my flowers, and I want to share it with you guys. It's really easy, but you must make sure your brush is completely clean. If there's any green in there, it's going to come out. If there's any blue, and don't worry about your paint water. If your paint water is purple like this, well, one, don't drink it like I did. But it's not going to compromise the white. But make sure when you paint over your paper towel to dry, if you're pulling your brush like this and it's clear, you're good. If you see any color in there, that's going to compromise your white paint. Okay? It's only paint, no one dies. You're right. So I'm going to get my paintbrush and I'm going to add. Now, the way these flowers are on here are really cool. They almost have like this style of art, I would say, is more of impressionism. It's a very brush oriented or very brush heavy. Check this out. I'm going to add a little bit of blue because I want to tint my petals just a little bit. Be careful. Look at that paint right there. Oof. Stay away. But I do like that blue. I don't want just pure white. I kind of want a little bit of blue in there. So I'm adding a little bit in there. Not a lot. Just a little bit. Careful with that green. If you have to, start over on another plate. But I'm pretty good about keeping the kids all in the same area. So I'm going to keep this paint right here. Here we go. Are you ready? I'm going to say this is going to be a flower. So I'm going to push down really good on my brush. And I'm going to pull up as I get to the center. And there's a petal. Ooh, did you guys see that? Did you see that?
Instant repeat.
I'm going to go to this side and I'm going to push down on the brush and I'm going to lift it up gently as I get towards the center. There's another petal. More paint. I'm going to push down on the brush, lift up towards the center. Reload. I'm going to push down on the brush, gravitate towards the center and lift up gently. I'm going to tint this with a little bit more blue. Right here. Push down on the brush, lift up. Do you guys see that? You're going to push down on the round brush, almost like you're blotting it, and then pull it towards the center and lift the brush gently.
Sorry.
Chris, I just got you. And Stacy on my Facebook. Awesome. Glad we're connected, you guys. And I'm going to go this way, push down the brush, pull it up towards the center. Push down the brush, just like that. I want this petal over here a little bit thicker, so I'm going to do this. You guys catch that? Try to keep it in a nice circle though. Try to keep all your, imagine like a circle in there. Try to stay in bounds of that circle. This one's a little bit bigger. That's okay. It's not a big deal. Okay, and then I'm going to make some a little bit different. So there's a couple that are like that. I want to make a couple that maybe look like this. And then guess what? Don't add more paint and dry brush some of them on there so they have like a transparent look to them. That's kind of cool when you do that. Don't worry about the center. We're going to paint those in. Try to get that done as soon as possible because we're going to be painting some yellow in there. And I can tell you right now, guys, my least favorite color to paint with is yellow because it takes so stinking long to dry. And it's very transparent. I don't care what type of paint it is, acrylic, enamels, oils. It's like an evil, necessary evil, the color yellow. Oh, cool. You're painting on, okay.
Someone painting on something different?
Yeah, hold on a minute.
What?
Oh, there goes the paramedic.
No.
It is. Chris, you know, yellow. I hate yellow. It's so cool looking, but it's just not fun. It's always transparent and I don't know. All right, watch this. I'm going to paint a different type of flower on. Let's do this one. Watch this. I'm going to paint this one like it's facing upward. Chris, I will totally come paint with you on your on Saturday. That's awesome. I would love to do that. I'm going to paint some going this direction. So I'm going to skip away from those in just a second. Now watch this. So I'm going to have it this way. I'm going to put the, what's the center called? The bulb?
What part?
The center of the flower.
Are you talking like stamen?
I don't know.
Pollen?
Gessoing under yellow is a really good idea.
Oh. Mine does not look great.
That's awesome, Chris. I'll totally do that. Hey, I got nothing going on Saturday. I mean, even if I did, I would totally hang out with you. That would be fun. Now I'm going to do a flower that's coming off the page here.
Oh, that did not come out good. Thanks.
Thanks, what? I didn't do that.
You were the one who taught me how to do that.
Don't blame me.
Blame the teacher. That's what you're
Blame the
supposed to do.
teacher?
Mm-hmm. Trust me. Blame the teacher.
So there's where I'm at right now. Is everybody doing okay? Again, I will do this again next Friday. I don't know what I'm painting yet. I will figure it out and let you guys know right away. Again, if you guys order basic acrylic sets, I want to try to stick to paintings that you guys have paints for already. Like I said, I don't want to do a painting and say, oh, cool, hey guys, guess what? Order aqua green or order phthalo green or order, cad orange. I don't want any of that. I want you guys to be able to get things that you have already. Okay, here comes another flower. Push down the brush, lift up. Reload. Go this way. Push down the brush. Pull up. Add a little bit of blue because I like that. Push down the brush, pull up. Is everybody else doing okay? Push down the brush, pull up. Lots of pressure, and then pull up your brush to relieve that pressure and make a thinner line. This one I'm going to add a couple more. I'm going to put one here and another one right here. Shaking my table.
I'm sorry. I had to get
No, you're not going to get a tip.
strange.
I'm going to put one right here.
You never gave me a tip anyways.
Yeah, I did.
No.
Gave you a really good tip and you didn't listen. Now you're stuck with me forever. When you walked up to me and first met me, I said, if you know what's best for you, walk away. And you didn't.
Nope.
You did not.
I'm still here.
Sorry. Well, let's do this. Check this out.
Don't change things.
I'm not changing anything.
Yeah,
This is on the original painting. Look at this.
Nope.
I'm going to do one that's outlined.
There's only one outline.
And you can paint over your stems now because we layered this. You want to create that overlapping effect. So definitely paint some of your flowers over the green stems. That's kind of cool. Just run with it, Hernandez. Just run with it.
I'm doing my own thing. Just kidding.
No, let the color show underneath. That's really cool. I like that. Don't trip. Whatever you guys do too, don't, you could kind of draw it out, but do not use pencil because when you touch that white over graphite, it'll ruin your life. You'll hate it. But I like to see some of the colors underneath. I like that. I like transparency. Amy Kaylee wants to see your flowers. So I'll tell you what, I'm gonna set my brush down.
I'll show you. I'm there. I'm there. These are my flowers. See, I went with the original style down here because the outline thing, I would mess that up and then I'd have to totally cover it and repaint it. And it was bad enough. I like totally messed this up, but I think that when I add the yellow, it'll be better. Oh, stop. This is my moment to shine. You're in my spotlight. Kaylee asked to see mine. But yeah, no. And you can see like some of the green stem. Like, I don't know if you can see that because but there's a little bit of green stem underneath it because some of them are a little more sheer than others, but I wanted it to have like a painterly look. So there. And then see my stems, I told you I wanted them more like cartoony and cute. So I made them, I did start out thin, as you can see, like a blade, but it got really thick because I wanted it more cartoony. So yeah. Oh, there he is. I'm like, he walked away. He wants me to keep talking. Not that I have a problem with talking, because everyone knows me.
Are you guys having fun?
I hope that did you proud, Miss Kaylee. Yeah.
You guys make me do funny things while I'm painting. I like it. So I'm going to continue. I'm going to put a flower down here. Now, I like the overlapping. So if you have to overlap, go for it. Overlapping is cool. Let's put one right here. One, two. Try to stay in that circle though. 3.
Ooh.
There's another one. Watch this. I'm going to make this. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use pure white because I'm going to overlap this guy right here. And it's going to totally cover it up. Boom. Pure white. Because this has a tint of blue in it, I use pure white to give it that overlapping effect. That's a way that you can bring colors backwards and move them forward is by switching to lighter colors. Don't worry about the center right here. We're going to cover it with yellow in just a minute. This is really neat. I'm liking this. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm hoping that it's a nice stress relief for you. And
They said yes, it's very enjoyable. They enjoy us bickering because then they know that it is normal when you are locked up with your spouse for a month straight. This is what happens.
but I'm locked up with you, and that's the best thing ever. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if I could be locked up with one person, I would definitely want to get locked up with me.
God. I mean, how awesome. You guys all get it now, right? Some of the younger people are like, I'm never getting married. Thank you, Mr. Hernandez, for warning me. Or you're like, thank you, Mrs. Hernandez. Mr. Hernandez is not like this in the classroom.
I tend to bring out the best in people.
You know what? I want to put a flower right there. I didn't have a flower right there. Now, what's this? I'm going to add one. How's everybody doing? I hope you guys are learning something and you're enjoying your time with us. I like that. I want to add one more flower right down here. Nothing wrong with afterthoughts. That's cool. I still have some of that green on my palette. I just added a flower down here. I'm going to rinse my brush out really, really good. And I'm going to grab this green. I didn't even use all that green up. I kind of wasted the green. That's all right. Watch this. I'm going to add a stem right here. And I'm going to add one more right there. That's cool. I like that. You guys all good? I'm rinsing my brush out really, really good. Most of it should be dry now.
My first flower was my best one, and then the rest of them are not even close. It was like beginner's
I'm
luck.
happy with that. That looks good. I like it. Very nice. All right. Are you ready? Now I've got some red. I'm going to use a little bit of red because I'm going to teach you how to make orange. But we're not going to make orange right now. We're going to use yellow first. I like to find dry spots on my plate. You can either get a new plate, but look at, we don't need that much yellow, I promise. So I'm going to put probably, I don't know, like a half a teaspoon's worth for these parts of the flower. You're not going to need a lot of yellow. Just about that much right there. And I'm going to use my round brush. Make sure it's dry. You don't want a big old blob of water to come out of your brush. And I'm actually going to mix it in the white. I'm done with the white. I don't want dark yellow. I kind of want like a lighter yellow. Okay. Right now, fake butter, real butter. Kind of want a little bit of a real butter look. We don't want dark yellow. Plus, when you add white, and Chris knows this, when you add white, you're actually going to thicken up that yellow so it's not so transparent. Yeah, no problem, Roberto. Are you're gonna bail and we'll just catch you next week? I mean, whatever. If you guys ever want to do something different, or I'm gonna do some more drawing tutorials that way. I want to do some drawing tutorials for my students and for not just my students, but everyone's students. I want you guys to.
My students. Mrs.
Hernandez's students. They're my students too. I get to sub for them all the time. Roberto, I miss you, buddy. I miss all you guys. You guys reach out to me anytime. I'm going to work from the right to the left because I'm left-handed. I don't want to paint across. It's a bad habit. So because I'm left-handed, if you're right-handed, you can work from left to right. Cool. I'll see you later, Roberto, okay? I'll keep you posted. And if you get any good barbecue recipes, shoot them my way. So I'm going to paint right in the center, just a little circle. I have one of my pinkies right here. I like to put my pinky on the canvas very gently so my hand's not shaky. Just very carefully. Just to paint a little circle right there. Now, the circle is not going to work for everything. Like the circle is going to work right here. Okay. Now, I want to switch the colors up a little bit, so I'm going to dip a little part of my brush, and I'm going to put a circle right here. And another one right here. Now, depending on which way your flower is pointed, it may not always go in the center. This one's going to go right up here. And watch this. I'm going to grab some dark yellow. This is where the stem is at, but I want it right here. Like it's going that way. And now, of course, this one right here, watch this. It's going to look like an egg, sunny side up.
Oh, man. Sorry. Canvas slipped.
Roberto is our drum major, well, one of them, at Oak Hills High School.
Is that Magic Man?
No, that's Alberto. This is Roberto.
Too many
Roberto is
rules.
awesome. He is one of the highlights of my day when I see him in the morning. He's a gentleman. When I see him in the morning, he says, "Good morning, Mr. Hernandez. How are you today?" Whereas the other kids say, "Yo, what up?" Roberto's going places. He's an awesome young man. I'm very proud of him. Proud of all those kids. This is streaky. I'm going to go over it again. Yellow is just streaky like that. All right, I'm going to rinse my brush out. And I'm going to do a little bit of a zoom in for you guys. And I apologize. I'm going to get some more equipment so I could actually have. I'm using the webcam on my camera, on my Amy's laptop right now, not mine. But I will get some better stuff so that I could zoom in. Have different. I'm gonna bring in a TV producer. That's what I'm gonna do.
You could ask Jimmy.
Who?
Jimmy. He'll help us.
Jimmy? Yeah. Okay, so that's drying right there. Now here's what I'm gonna do. I don't want a dark orange. I'm gonna grab this red right here and mix a little bit of that there. And I'm gonna grab the bottom because I might need some of that yellow later. I'm just gonna grab the bottom of that. Voila. Got some orange. Now, depending on how dark you want your orange, you can add more yellow or you can add more red. In this case, I don't want a drastic change. So look at this color right here. That's kind of the orange I want right there. Because the next thing that I'm gonna do, let me see if I can move this closer. I'm gonna put my palette over here. Is that better, you guys? I want orange just on the bottom right here, right here, right here, right here, right here, so on and so forth.
There's something really great about mixing your own paints. Makes me proud.
Yeah, and that's why I could have told you guys just to go get purple.
Yeah.
But it's more rewarding, I think, when you can mix your own paints. And you know, as a barbecue connoisseur, I love making my own rubs. I buy rubs sometimes, but there's just something more rewarding when I make my own seasonings, my own like ingredients. You know, it's like when you make something that requires a broth and you make your own broth instead of just buying it in a can. There's something like satisfying and rewarding.
This happens when it's not going over it.
It looks like Thousand Island dressing.
Mine does too, but I can't get it to layer over the yellow.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, I have orange in my studio because there's some days where I'm in a hurry and I really don't have time. Like some, not all of them lately, but some art jobs are paid jobs and I just got to get them done fast. And the last thing I want to do is sit and put on some music and relax to, you know, Chris Hernandez painting in the studio. It just needs to be done because, not because I want to finish it right away, but because these people have deadlines and they want it done like now. All right, so I'm good with that.
Yeah, just like that.
And I'm going to stop here a minute so you guys can do all that. But here, I'm going to zoom in on my flowers.
I can't do what you're doing. My halves don't look
Yep,
good.
we got it. That's it. Everybody else doing okay? Remember, if you have to go, this is going to be on my YouTube channel. You guys could always go back to it and watch it later and skip through all my lousy jokes and my insults and my Hernandezisms. You guys could always go through and you can also pause this too. I think that if it's live, you can always pause it if you miss something and go back and see it. But we're almost done here. We're almost done. And I wanted to do this earlier. The last time we did this, we started at 6 and we finished at like 9. And poor Michelle and Chris, they're on the East Coast. So it was like midnight. And I didn't even realize it. And I apologize. But I kind of don't because you guys don't have to work in the morning, right? Are you an essential worker? If you are, I'm sorry. If not, go to bed like 2 in the morning like the rest of us do now. Watching Netflix all night. New sleep schedule.
Yes. I'm just struggling with this whole orange thing. I'm sorry. Anybody else struggling with the whole orange thing? Because it's not easy.
Yeah, you're right. Time flies, but where are we going to go? My traveling is like the dining room window to my bedroom window. That's like, I get to see different views. I get out every so often, you know. That's good. That's fine.
I think it looks dumb. Anybody else feeling that way? Feeling like it looks dumb? I don't know, like they look like half moon.
You know, Chris, I was going to tell you just now, I work a lot in my studio doing freelance work. So this is totally normal for me. Everyone's like, what do I do? And I'm like, well, welcome to my world. I sit in my studio sometimes. And like a real treat for me is going out to the grocery store to buy dinner. And it's like, wow, I'm in civilization again. But for the most part, I sit in my studio and I just work and I paint, I draw. I'm working on when I work on a book, that's it. I'm done. Like I'm like Howard Hughes. Nails are grown out, beard's grown out. It's crazy. So sometimes I'm the neighborhood watch. They elect me for neighborhood watch because I stay up till 3 or 4 in the morning painting.
It's not the neighborhood watch.
Chris knows exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so that should be dry. I still have some black paint on my palette, and I haven't even used a ton of it. I have black paint down here still. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to dip my pointed brush, my round brush, and I'm going to leave a nice point on it. I'm going to put a bunch of little dots here. Just like that.
Oh.
Isn't that cool?
Mine's not dry, though, because I'm still painting.
Be careful, don't put your hand in the paint when it's wet.
Okay, I like that better.
Good. You guys having fun? Now, this is wet right here still, so while you're painting, avoid stuff like that.
Zoom in on the dots. Ken, you want me to?
Yeah, look at those dots right there. Really simple, just dots. Did you see that, Kaylee? And you guys, once you get, here's the thing. When you start a pattern on one flower, be consistent and do it to the rest of them. Remember, these are all next to each other. You don't want a flower that looks completely different. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
Dots are hard. I mean, paint
Even
dots.
if it's not like my dots, if you created a dot pattern, just keep it consistent.
I mean, brush dots are not easy.
I have something to help you guys. Check this out.
Oh.
Ooh, check this out. Are you ready?
I just figured that out.
Watch this. I'm rinsing my brush out. Get your brush, and you're going to use that part right there. Watch this. I'm going to put the butt end of my brush. I said butt. Okay. I don't want a lot, but watch this. You can use that to make dots.
And they're more dotty. You know? They're more round, circular.
Did you say Dottie like Pee Wee Herman's girlfriend?
Yes, I did.
Awesome. No, Dottie. Yeah. Anyways, you could do that. I've got a brush that has a different end. You could do that as well. I met Pee Wee Herman at Comic-Con a long time ago. He was so sweet. I loved him. I gave him a hug.
Super nice man.
I gave him a hug and told him that he was my childhood. He gave me a hug back. I love him. Paul Rubens. So here's where I'm at right now. You guys good?
Almost.
I'll give you a minute. I'll give you a minute. I'm going to give, does anybody need a few more minutes to catch up? Or are you guys all caught up? Because we're almost done.
We are.
I don't want to rush you. And if you guys have any questions.
What happens if I made one dot really big?
Then you make one dot really big.
Just saying.
I just want you guys to know I totally did that right there on purpose because, well, no, because I did it. It was an accident. But see, that's how you're supposed to treat this. Like, I meant to do that. Why'd you do that for? Because it called for it. I meant to do that. Never explain your artwork and your flaws. Just, it's your work. When I was in art school, that's all we did all day.
Well, in that case, I have two black
Why
dots
did you do
and I
that?
wanted
How come
them
you
to
didn't
touch.
put the, why is this not working this way? This blah, 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 blah. Oh, the days of critiques. I don't miss them at all. We would sit for 4 hours. People would walk out of the classroom crying during critiques.
Yeah.
Built up some thick skin, but some of it was unnecessary. I'm not going to lie. All right, are we ready?
Yes, you have to do the bee. Come on now. That's
Who said that? Michelle, you still trying to get out of work.
No, I don't know. Was it Michelle?
Yes. Do we have to do the
The
bee?
bee
Because
is
I
the
like it how it is
reason
now.
why I
No.
chose this piece. I chose it for the bees. Come on. This is my Save the Bees art piece.
Okay, I'm going to move forward. Are you ready? I'm going to get my round brush. Are you ready? And I'm going to put some black in it. I'm going to paint a heart, but I'm going to paint like a dotted line heart. A dashed line, not a dotted line. Okay? So do your best. I'm going to make a dashed line heart. I want a little trail right here, but I want to make my heart first, and it's going to go in this direction.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see. We're making the path of the bee. I have to know.
There's a heart. All you're going to do is pretend like you're drawing a heart, but you're using your paintbrush, and you're making a dashed line. And when that's done, I'm just going to make a little trail of black right here. Just like that. Don't make it going to the bee. I don't want a trail right there. This is just going to be regular yellow. Okay, does everybody see that okay?
Yes.
Okay, now I'm going to make the shape of the bee. The bee is going to be flying off in this direction. So I don't want him going this way. I want him going in this direction here. So I'm going to paint an oval, God, that light's really driving me nuts. Can you guys see? Well, let me turn this light. Can you? Here, let's try this.
See it.
It
looks fine.
If I turn this off, can you guys still see okay?
Turn it off. Let's see.
It's turned off right now. Is it okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Because it's blinding me. I don't like it.
Anyone else, but I can see, and I'm looking.
Are you guys cool with that? I'm gonna paint an oval shape for the bee right here. Or like just make an egg. Black paint. It's just an oval shape, just like that. Now I'm going to paint his antenna. And I'm going to want to get a nice point on my brush. And I'm just going to put his head right here next. And his antenna will be next. So a small little circle right there. You see that okay? Now this is going to have to definitely dry. Please don't paint yellow over this as soon as we're done with the shape. And now here comes his antenna. They're going to come out this way and this way with a couple little dots right there. I'm a little bit wider. Okay. Now watch his wings. His wings are going to be hearts. See that little swirly instead of... And whatever you do on this side, mirror it right on the other side as best you can. So because that's probably the last of the black, I'm going to rinse my brush out really good just so I can get a nice point on my black, on my brush with the black. And I'm going to roll my brush around. You roll your brush around and you pull it upward so you get a nice point on it. And I'm going to come right over here. Rinsing my brush out. Now, if you have a hair dryer at home, go for it. Hit that thing. Boom. Dry it up. See where mine is at. Hang on, it's in my studio. I'll be right back.
Oh man. Anybody else agree? He makes things look so simple, like just like that. We'll do it. You just put a heart and there you have it. It's not that simple. I was complaining.
This is my secret weapon right here with acrylic painting. You guys should all have one. If you want to keep doing this, I like it. That's cool. I'm going to pull my time in it. Maybe you can put your painting up there and show what you're doing. If not, give me 15 seconds. Hair dryer's going on. Give me 1 minute. That's good. If you're using a hair dryer, make sure you let it cool off a little bit too, because if it's hot and you start painting right over it, it'll dry up your paint that's on there right now and on your brush, and you don't want to do that. Okay. Is everybody ready?
No.
Put that light back on. Give you guys a couple minutes to paint that shape of the bee in there.
Okay. Oh, yay. Okay. Should I blow dry mine?
You could. Yeah, we're in California. All right, are you guys ready?
Oh, man.
We're about to wrap this this cool piece up here. Now, if you're painting and there's a little bit of black on there, like you see there's some wet paint right there. If you get that on your brush by accident, all you do is just wipe your brush off real well, and then you won't have any black in your yellow when you continue. So here's what I did. I don't want dark yellow. This is a medium yellow I'm using. I want to add some white to it for the bee's body and for his little trail. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm grabbing this yellow and I'm going to grab some white. I don't want any orange in it, so be very careful. Okay, and I want really good points on this. I want a fine point.
Would you consider doing something a little more advanced for a future painting?
I could, yeah. I totally could.
Some people want more advanced.
Yeah, I could totally do that. Watch my brush. I don't want to completely cover up that black. I just want a little bit over that. Over all the little dashes that I made. Remember to make sure there's a nice point on your brush. If there isn't, roll your brush around. I want a little bit more yellow on this. Okay. There's where I'm at right now. Ooh, Van Gogh.
Ooh.
Kaylee wants to do Van Gogh.
Mr. Chris did Van Gogh with Mrs. Boatwright's class. It was awesome. The kids did awesome.
Post-Impressionism.
I like his flowers.
He does great flowers.
I think it was called like sunflowers or daffodils.
Yeah.
One of his pieces. I really love it.
I'm going to go from here to here without any black. I'm just going to do a trail. Just like that. No, he's not pooping out yellow. It's his little. You guys all got to say that. No, you didn't say it.
I said it.
Nope. Everybody back home said, no, I'm not going to say it. Say it right now. 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. I heard some of you guys do that. No, I didn't see the Vincent van Gogh movie. I totally want to. I feel so bad for people like that who didn't get the help that they probably should have got. But Van Gogh was a tortured soul, the poor man. Chris just said it right now.
That's funny.
Okay, here we go. On this B, I'm going to make the shape of a... I want to see black on the outside, so I'm going to put like a half circle right in the center here. And that's going to have to dry a few minutes because it's yellow, and that's just how yellow is. Yellow is very transparent looking.
Interesting.
He was very kind-hearted. I did a report on Van Gogh. I studied him in art school. And if you read the letters he wrote to his brother, it was so sad. It was just tragic what that poor man went through. And he had no one to help him. They just threw him in an asylum. Hey, you're crazy. In fact, when he painted Starry Night, he painted it looking out of his window at an asylum he checked himself into. There's another part of the bee. Another part of the bee.
Do we have to layer this?
Probably, because yellow just kind of stinks like that. Yellow has always got this streaky, transparent look, and you'll always have to layer it. I have other artists on here that will vouch for it.
If I made my bee a little bigger, can I make another stripe?
Sure. And the last part is you're going to grab this shape and do the same thing, but it doesn't have to be that same size, but just like that. That's awesome, Kaylee. How come I wasn't invited to your Sweet 16? Ooh. Oh. Just kidding. I was at your graduation, right? And I'm going to put some yellow right here on his antenna. Well, that's cool. Kaylee did a gallery of her paintings. I'm going to take lessons from Kaylee.
Me too.
She's a great painter. Michelle said, "Here you go," like, and spelled it Vincent van Gogh. Okay, are you ready? Now, this is going to be a little tough. You're going to have to get a nice point on your brush. And all you're going to do is redraw or repaint over these lines that you created for the heart, for his wings. There's one part. Here's the other part. And I'm going to layer that again. It's a little dark, but that's because it's yellow. Yellow is my least favorite colors to paint with. Most of you guys know that my favorite color is phthalo blue.
Yes.
I drink phthalo blue water sometimes because I just like it that much. I'm a big fan. Well, I'm going to go back and color that now.
I can't get my brush pointy enough, so I am going to switch brushes.
I'm going to go over this again because you could still see the black through. And I might go over this again. And then guess what I'm going to do? Check this out. I'm going to grab white. I'm not going to rinse my brush out. I'm just going to grab white on my yellow. And I'm going to, while the paint is wet, I'm going to throw a little bit of white right there, right here, there, right there. Just because I felt like doing that. Actually, it adds really cool contrast. I'm going to roll my brush out again. If you're wondering how to get a nice tip on that, remember, roll and pull your brush upward. If you can write very little pressure, if you can make a line, your brush is nice and pointy. If not, rinse it out, reshape it by putting it in paint and rolling it around till you get a nice point. Then I'm going to go back here and repaint over this. Just where it needs it, not the whole thing. I don't know why, but I keep hearing that song in my head.
What song?
It's a honey of a no. It's Honey Nut Cheerios. If you were a kid in the 80s, you know what that's about. You were born in the 70s and you grew up in the 80s, right? It's a honey of a no. Never mind. Well, guess what? I think I'm done.
No, I'm not done yet.
Well, I didn't say you had to be done. I'm done. I don't want to do anymore. This is really nice.
I am a representation of the American people here, of the non-painters of the world. So
are you one of those toilet paper hoarders then, if you represent the American people?
Yep.
Because you're not on my team if you're doing that. Here we go, guys.
Well, if we ever go to a bartering system, I can use my toilet paper to barter with people.
What? Instead of Bitcoin, buttcoin?
Yep.
Well, I'm done. And the last thing that I want to do, I'm going to sign it. I think I'm going to use red.
What?
Chris said, no more toot tickets. I'm going to sign my painting.
La, la, la.
This was a fun piece.
I love it. It makes me very happy.
There we go. I'm all done. Yeah. I once signed my name wrong on a very giant piece I did. I forgot one of the N's in Hernandez. And when I was done, I thought I was all good. And like, yeah, look at that. And Amy said, you spelled your last name wrong. You spelled it Hernandez. Oh, I had to scrape it off. It was an oil painting. I couldn't just paint right over it.
Mm-hmm.
Hernandez, as Mrs. Boatwright would say. Hernandez. Do you guys have any questions? Because we're pretty much done. I want to see you guys painting. So if you're on my Facebook, message it to me. I'm going to create a gallery tomorrow. If you're not on my Facebook, email me, Chris, CHRIS, .hernandez367@gmail.com. Or go follow us. Do you guys have Instagram? Go follow us on Instagram right now, ZP Publishing.
Mm-hmm.
You guys can check up on our books. If you don't use Facebook, hold on. Here's us right here. So if you guys have Instagram, go follow us. Send me the messages through Instagram. You could Facebook message to me. How come the numbers aren't climbing up? Come on, don't do this to me. We need to be at 900 followers within the next 20 minutes. Just kidding.
Stop.
Anyways, that's us right there, guys. So follow us. And I had a lot of fun with you guys. Thank you for interacting with us. Thanks for laughing at my my jokes. And we're all trying to stay positive here and hang out with everybody. So stick around on my YouTube channel. I'm going to do some cool drawing tutorials for the students. And yes, I will do some more advanced things. Chris, I will be there. Send me an invite on Facebook so I could follow the link and go paint with you too. That would be really cool. We do need a lot of light. You're right. It's challenging right now that we're going through a tough time as a nation, and we all just need to come together and just do some more positive things and just be there for each other right now. And we really need to be positive and show a really good example to the next generation of kids too. I mean, these kids are going to be taking care of us, and through education and teaching them things and how to take care of our society, our environment. I really think that's going to help a lot, you guys. So I always tell my kids the same thing. Like, you guys got to learn these things. I mean, you're going to be taking care of your mom and I in a little bit. I'm trying to be nice just in case they don't try to stick me in some old folks home or whatever. But seriously, like, we just need to stay positive and be good examples to our kids right now and show them that, hey, we could overcome this, and we're going to. And with science, technology, we're going to get through this, but also being awesome human beings and just showing an example. So he would throw you in a ditch.
Who said that?
Chris's son said that.
Oh.
So Carson, hope you had fun, buddy. I hope you guys all had fun. And remember, stay hopeful and stay positive and stay in. And take care of yourselves. Do good things for everybody else. Pay things forward. I want to do this again. I'm not charging you guys I don't want to charge for this because we're all in this together. I want to do this for fun. So share my YouTube channel if you can. I don't want anything out of this. I just want a good experience for you guys. I don't care about promotion. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just here to hang out, and that's it. I just want what's best for everybody. And if I can help out and I can make someone's day, and if Amy and I together can make you guys smile a little bit on the weekend or during your week, then we did our job. That's all we want. Okay. So I will check out your stuff for sure, Chris. That's awesome. That's awesome. I appreciate that. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to end this stream right now, and I'm going to go eat some food. But you guys have a good rest of your night. If you have any questions, my email's on there. You guys can totally reach out to me if you want to send me anything and just say, hey, I need some help or whatever. Or if you just want to say, hey, just feel free to message us. And have a good rest of your night, guys. Be safe out there.
Be safe.
Be safe. Okay? We love you guys. We're in this together. I wanted to give a shout out to my kids. and everybody else's students. We're all going through a tough time right now. And we just found out tonight that our school year was done. We're not going to be on campus with our kids anymore. And I really miss my students. I know Amy and her team misses it. We all miss our students. Instagram again, Karen, ZP Publishing. So at ZP Publishing. Okay. But we love you guys, and have a good rest of your night. Be safe. Next Friday. So look for that. Let's paint again next Friday, okay? Using the same colors. And I'll shoot you guys out a message and let everybody know what colors to get and the different materials to use. All right. So have a good rest of your night, guys. We love you and stay safe.